Mic off.
What is up, YouTube? It's your boys Patrick and John from Obscure Reference back at it with another Opum One Piece of Our Minds. Chapter 1124 just dropped. Title chapter Close Friend. And of course, we have another iterance of our cover story, Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage, Volume 12, Preventing an Abduction on the Road to Curry. Shadowy figure running off in the distance. Yamato seems to be protecting the mouse girl that Sanji had that whole thing with. That was very confusing. Yeah, that's all there is to that. Patrick, are you ready to read this chapter?
I'm so ready. I'm so ready. All right, okay. Red leather, yellow leather. That's how ready I am.
Page 1, let's do it.
Page 1.
Boy, good start, not in this chapter.
It's time to get the dance floors of the world bouncing, folks. And we're with the WWE News. With Morgan and Vivian Wapple. We've got a fresh set list of tracks packed full of new news. Give them fear, paint a picture of utter disaster in the future. They're desperate for information, and the only place they'll get it is the next World Economic Journal. Vivi's like, you're incorrigible. Vegapunk spoke of hope as well. Don't tell me how to run my stage, little girl, or I'll tell them where you're hiding. Oh, did I say something to offend you, you falsehood-amplifying albatross?
Yeah, got him.
The intelligent people of the world won't be manipulated by your lies. And Wapple's just like, ah. Now, Vivi, my dear sweet girl, let's not forget that we have nowhere to go if you make him angry. And Morgan's just like, well, you have a point. The truth's a good tale as well. The whole world sinking into the sea. But the sky is my home. I guess it'll be my era soon. Do you really want to take that attitude with me, princess? Sure, it won't set you back in the days ahead. I'm sure. If the world is going to be destroyed, I don't expect to live through it anyway. Quah! Look at this! A whole pile of juicy stories to guac at. Vivi? I don't think it's such a good idea to... Emperor Blackbeard versus Trafalgar Law. Ooh. Emperor Redhair versus Eustace Captain Kidd. Emperor Straw Hat Luffy murders Vegapunk. Liar! Oh, man. So, shout out to the live action casting. Shout out to the actress playing Vivi. Very good casting so far. We can talk about it later. Alright, we're back at Egghead. Everything's in flames and smoke. Come in! Is everyone dead? And you see Centauro's in a rowboat. He made it out. Shout out to that. What happened? Come in, Egghead. You just see Kizaru just standing over bodies in his ship. Remember, they were knocked out by Joy Boy's hockey. He picks up the transponders now. Oh, shut up. And Akainu's on the other line. Why are you picking up the call, Borsalino? What happened to the others? Every last one is asleep and foaming at the mouth. What's that supposed to mean? Is Saint Saturn unharmed? What about the power plant? Any escapees? I'll have reports sent in once the youngins wake up. You better not have done a sloppy job on this one, Borsalino. Alright, Sakazuki. Phew, let me try that again. Alright, Sakazuki, tell me something. Have you ever killed a close friend? And he's just thinking back to when he first met a Vegapunk or something around that point. Man, you got a big head. I'm Borsalino, a Navy sailor. How much can you pay? Huh? This arrest is just an excuse. What you really want is my brain. How much can you pay in research funds? Oh, you're funny. This is what it'll look like? And I'm going to call it Egghead, so we gotta jump in the future a little bit. We're building the future 500 years ahead. I could use a hand, Borsalino. You know I'm an admiral now, right? And you see him building, you see Centauro's also building, and you see little Bonnie's hanging out and sticking her tongue out with Vegapunk. And then we cut forward again in time to when he stabbed Vegapunk in the back, and you just see his body in the reflection of his shades. Great panel.
Ooh, it is a great panel. You're right.
You want to know if I did a sloppy job, Sakazuki? If you have time to sit there and doubt me, then come over here and see my work for yourself, you ungrateful brat. And Kaine's just like, oh shit. I'm sorry, brother. Don't even start. Damn, bro.
Damn.
That's hardcore. It's so quiet. Are they done partying? And so we're back at the Viking ship with the Sunny right next to it. It's Frankie sitting on the Sunny with Jinbei, and it looks like Zoro is leaning against the side there. Sounds like they only had one mug each. I didn't think Luffy would feel so down. I mean, I know we didn't fulfill our goal, but And yeah, there's Vegapunk saying, "I Rick was saw right off of Egghead," and obviously he, didn't make it.
They
It
got
was
a
five.
Vegapunk. That counts.
Yeah, one for eight technically, or is it? Wait, okay.
6.
There's 7 satellites plus him, right?
No, there's 5 satellites plus him. Edison, Pythagoras, Lilith, York, Atlas, and
Edison.
who am I forgetting? I said Edison, Pythagoras, Atlas, York, Shaka, Lilith. So 6
Shaka.
satellites and him, a total of 7.
Okay, got it. It was the 5 elders, a Navy Admiral, CP0, the Seraphim, and a blockade of battleships. It's such a miracle that we escaped that hell. I still can't entirely wrap my mind around it. Jinbei's like, and I totally agree. Still. And Zoro's just glugging. This is pathetic. He's one of the 4 emperors now, and he's moping over one geezer dying.
Ooh,
Come on.
damn.
And we see Lilith waking up. Ah, she's awake. Ooh, huh? And Chopper and Usopp and Nami and Sanji are all around her. I'm so glad. Are you okay, Lilith? And Sanji's just floating. Lilith? Hmm? Oh yeah, we're in a cabin on the giant ship. Everything's huge here. Damn, what is that? Is that like a chair? What is that? Is that a couch chair thing?
I think it's a couch, yeah.
Okay. This is tough to admit, but out of all the Vegapunks, we failed to bring anyone else but you. We're so sorry. Atlas knocked you out. I think that's why. This just cuts her off. Don't worry, I've just heard the whole story. And Sanji's like, you heard it? From whom? And she's like, now give me a minute to cry. And she starts crying. Usopp's in the corner. Is like, what part of you is evil again? And immediately, okay, I'm hungry. You recover quick. Oh, you want food? The giants put out some fruit on the table. I guess it's because Vegapunk cut greed out of his brain. And here's Brooke. Oh, watch out! It's gloomy up there. And you just hear Luffy from the top. Damn it! I gave him my word. I said I'd save the old apple man. And Chopper and Lilith get to the top of the table. Luffy's in really bad shape. He's so depressed. He's only eaten 5 bunches of grapes. That seems like plenty. He just shoving a giant grape into his
I've
mouth.
never seen such a depressing panel be so funny.
I see. So you were feeling sad about me, Luffy. Well, don't worry. I've just heard it all. What do you mean? Why do you keep saying you heard it? I was crying earlier because I was sad about everyone else's death. But it is only death by your concept of it. You see, the truth is, in short, they're all alive. Excuse me?
I was gonna say, like, she seems to be taking on all their emotions now.
See, huh? Interesting. But to you, they're dead, and yet everyone's just like, what? What? I don't get it. Are they ghosts? My point is, you did keep your promise to me. So don't feel sad, Luffy. Alright, he's immediately back in better spirits.
Yep.
You just see who's that? Oimo? Or is that Kashi?
That's Oimo.
First battle. Okay. Straw Hat! Straw Hat! Alright, let me try that again. Straw Hat, feeling better now. Yo! Hey, giant guys. Thanks for coming to save us. Yeah, are you ready now? Shall we feast? Bring out the food and the drink. Zoro, Luffy's better. I've been waiting for this. Eat all you want. Gah, bah, 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 bah. I can see Saul when we get to Elbaph. I'm so happy for you, Robin, and that's Robin hugging Chopper. I like that toast you gave earlier, Straw Hat. Vegapunk said that whoever finds the One Piece will run the whole world. Who do you think's gonna be the king of the pirates? That's the whole reason I went to sea. I don't care if you guys end up as my enemies. You know it's gonna be me in the end. Woo! Cheers! The ship charts a course northeast, en route to the storied land of Elbaph, home of the giants. Warland, New World, Elbaph. And you just see someone standing on the coast. No, sitting on the coast.
It's gotta
Shaded
be
out.
Saul, right?
Well, he's just sitting there saying, "Come on," and we don't know why he's saying that. If it's a he, now I could see it being Saul. I could see it being Saul. That's a good guess. And we know it's because part of him sitting down like that with a bottle like that makes me think it's Shanks, but that doesn't add up because he's out to sea.
I
Just
could
left
see it
Elbaph.
being Shanks silhouette wise, but you're also right. Shanks is not here at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, why'd they have to Cliff, this was a good chapter. It was a we've officially ended Egghead chapter. Borsalino was great, don't get me wrong. But overall, it was a pretty just steady, moving the narrative along chapter. Why'd they have to come out of left field and hit us with a cliffhanger?
Dude, part of me last week said that I could see us getting to Elbaph next week, but part of me is also like, nope, we got one more chapter before we get there, at least. So I'm not actually upset that we didn't get to Elbaph this time.
Oh yeah, no, I figured we'd spend one, maybe two chapters at sea. I didn't need a silhouette at the end, freaking silhouettes showing up out of nowhere.
Man, when you've been reading One Piece as long as I have, you silhouettes.
I can't believe I only started reading in Wano. It's been such a trip since then.
Boy, howdy. What's the date?
Okay, so Lilith says they're not dead. We also see her taking on more than just the evil emotions. One of which was greed. Is York dead? York's alive, right? So why would she be greedy?
I don't know if she is greedy. I don't think she's taken on York's personality, though we've only gotten a snapshot here, but
I mean,
I imagine that
she
York's
had
alive.
the okay, I'm hungry, and that was York's whole thing, was she just eats and sleeps.
True. That's a good call, actually. I don't know.
So yeah, I'm curious to see how the rest of the Vegapunk stuff plays out.
Yeah, I'm inclined to believe that York is still alive. We didn't see her this chapter, so I don't know. That doesn't mean anything, really, but...
Yeah, no, I mean, we never saw her die. It's not even like an unconfirmed death. It's just...
Mm-hmm.
Last we
It's not
saw...
even hinted at.
Is she still on Egghead, then, since, the Gorosei got teleported away?
Yeah, I believe that's where we last saw her,
Yeah.
for sure. Forget what she was doing, but yeah.
Quick shout out to the panel of Sentamaru sailing away. Like, Vegapunk is dead, Borsalino's betrayed him. He's got no one in the world, and he's just crying as he rows himself
Yeah.
out to sea.
Totally missed the tears. That's, yeah.
Yeah, good panel.
My boy.
And then not only, like, Borsalino's moment of yelling at Sakazuki, like, how about you get down here and check it out yourself? But when Sakazuki's like, I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
didn't know he could be sympathetic. He's
Yeah,
not
I
just
didn't...
doubling down on being a hard ass. He's like, you're right. I asked you to kill your best friend, and I'm sorry about that.
Mm-hmm. No, I really appreciate that interaction. It gives us a new side to Borsalino that I'm sure has been there the entire time. We've just never seen it. 'Cause he's usually so aloof and whatever, and yeah.
I mean,
kind who's
obviously
just
it was
like,
building to this, but yeah,
Right.
what a great panel. And just where he's like crying but not blubbering, but you can tell he's at his limit.
Right.
Oh, that's a good panel for sure.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's one of my highlights this chapter, for sure.
I think my favorite breakaway panel of the chapter, though, is definitely where Wapple's like, now, Vivi, we don't want to make him mad, and he's just got this really cute face on.
He's just sweating bullets.
He's just, fucking terrified of life and trying to... I love him. Wapple has really grown on me. I didn't hate him as much as anyone else did during Drum Island. I didn't love him at all there. He was just an annoying guy. We got rid of him. Ever since he came back, I freaking love Wapple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's definitely a case of Buggy, but with more extremes. Actually, no. More extremes to begin with. I kind of don't like him. He serves his purpose as the antagonist of Drum Island, but like...
Yeah,
hey,
no, that's all
such
he
a
is.
nothing
He's
character.
just there to get beat up. He's not intimidating. He's not threatening.
Well,
we make jokes the entire
no.
arc. Like, we
He's
start
not
off by
threatening.
beating him, and then they show up and they just ignore him the whole time because he's nothing but annoying.
Like,
And then we kick his ass in the final fight.
thematically, he serves a purpose, and I understand that. But I don't like... I didn't care about him. I didn't care who
No.
he was.
Exactly.
Nothing about him was like, I need to know more about him. Whereas now it's like, No, I still don't want to know more about him, but he is making me laugh.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't care who he is, but he's funny on screen. Like, I don't need a backstory. I don't need him to do anything. I just need him to keep being him.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think my favorite thing about Wapple, though, without saying too much, that's actually the reason Dell stopped getting into One Piece. He got to Drum Island and was like, this villain sucks. I can't respect a show that does this with a villain. In, like, modern day, Wapple's just one of my favorite characters now. And I'm like, you're missing the point, man. Okay. What's it called? The cover story. Where the hell's this going? What do we accomplish with Yamato going on the surrogate pilgrimage? We stopped a kidnapping. I thought we were gonna get some Big Mom Kaido stuff.
Yeah, and we might still. Just thinking back on other cover stories, it's like some of them have been fairly inconsequential, but then recently they've been pretty consequential, so I imagine this is going somewhere. I just don't know where. Taking our sweet time with it in classic code of fashion, and that's fine.
Oh, that's why this chapter felt so short. It was only 13 pages.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, we got there really quick. That's fine. We could use a good short chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, aside from Shanks, who's the silhouette? Could be, like, not Shanks. Could be Saul, but, we don't know him as a drinker. Could that be Loki?
I mean, of the characters we've yet to meet from Elbaph, that would be associated with the island would be him. I had another thought. His crew went down right around Elbaph. What if it was someone from their crew?
I don't think it's that. Maybe, this is a real stretch and we have no evidence for this, but we're coming up on the end of the story and we need some answers. Could this be Scopper Gaban? Has he just been hanging out on Elbaph this whole time?
Could be something.
I mean, it's possible, but again, I have no evidence for that.
Yeah.
I could also imagine they left Beckman behind.
That's,
we're going out to see, we need somebody here, you're my right-hand man.
That's a good point, because, he's kind of got the same little, like, jacket thing with the collars Shanks does, so I could see that.
Yeah, I'm going to place my money on Beckman.
I could see that. That's a good way to tease up finally reuniting with Shanks.
No, that's such a fucking cop-out. I swear to God, if we meet Beckman and Shanks dies at sea, I'm gonna hit someone.
I don't think he's dying before Luffy meets him. That's just me.
It's just... we would be robbed if he did that. We've been promised since literally day one they will meet again. But how much of a narrative gut punch would that be? Sometimes you just gotta get hit in the gut reading a story like this. I can't think of any other way, where Luffy doesn't return the Straw Hat. That's the whole thing, is they'll meet back up and give this back to him. But it's definitely Luffy's now. And I can't imagine Shanks is just like, nah, you keep it. So there's gotta be something else that happens. Listen, we know Shanks is at sea, we know Blackbeard's at sea, and we know Blackbeard's gonna kill Shanks. Ocean's a small place.
You don't know that.
What do you mean we don't know that? That has been heavily implied the entire series.
Implied or theorized?
Implied!
That Shanks is going to be killed by Blackbeard.
Absolutely. No. No, that has been heavily implied.
No.
First, you have him scarring Shanks, and Shanks is like, he did this to me, and I did not let my guard down.
Sure.
We have Shanks warning Whitebeard, do not let Ace go after him. Shanks knows what a threat Blackbeard is. Shanks shows up at Marineford. He's like, you want to go Teach? And Teach is like, no, we're not ready yet. Are they ready now? So when he says yet, there is a time where they will be ready to fight Shanks. We know Blackbeard does not lose to anyone but Luffy, narratively, so he has to win against Shanks, so that fight's coming. I had a third thing, but listen, he's got death flags popping up left and right. We know no one takes Blackbeard as serious as he does, and we know that mentor figures in anime and manga don't typically make it to the end of the series.
No, not usually. All right. Well, we'll see.
I am convinced it's gonna happen. The only question in my mind is it before or after he reunites with Luffy.
Yeah. Maybe it's they reunite and then Blackbeard shows up and then it happens and it's Ace Part 2. I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
Okay. Any other thoughts for this chapter?
Do we want to talk about Zoro kind of being a hard ass?
I mean, I've just come to expect that of Zoro.
But that feels like real strict. Like pushing the line even.
Okay, go on. Elaborate.
Like, I don't know. We've seen this from Zoro before, so I don't have too many to say or complain about it. He wants Luffy to live up to the title that he now has. And he did this in Water 7 when
Yeah,
he
I was gonna say, like, this is
you're
just the end of
captain.
Water 7.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. It feels a little bit over the line, though, because, Luffy said, hey, let's take 2 years off because he didn't want anyone dying under his watch, and here we are, someone died under his watch. Actually, 5 people died under his watch, technically. So, it just feels a little inconsiderate even for Zoro, so I don't know. It feels like it's pushing the line a little bit.
See, I see what you're saying, but at the same time, he's not wrong. I mean, Luffy's one of the 4 emperors. Did Kaido cry every time someone died? Did Big Mom cry every time someone died? Did Whitebeard, you're one of the biggest 4 forces in the entire world now. Your entire crew escaped alive after fighting 5 demons, an admiral, and an entire Buster Call. That was, 10 times bigger than normal? 5 times, whatever it was? You faced death and walked away with your only fault being you didn't take someone extra with you.
Yeah.
So I get why Luffy's depressed here, but at the same time, Zoro's right. He's like, if you're gonna let this crush you, how are you gonna move forward? It's that moment where if the captain falters, who do we have to follow?
No, and I totally agree with that point. That's the point Frankie and Jinbei are making here, that despite the odds, they still made it out. So...
yeah, no, it's...
Luffy's a different type of emperor than the other ones we've met so far.
He is, and you're not wrong. Zoro is being cold and harsh, but at the same time, he's right. Luffy still has to captain the crew. He can't just go into a depressing fit every time it doesn't go his way.
Mm-hmm. No, and I'm not saying it's completely unwarranted, because I think it is partially, but part of me thinks, maybe he could have been a little nicer about it. But either way, that is kind of...
I hope that becomes something. I hope we get another one of those scenes where Zoro's like, oh, good, you're in a good mood now because you found out you won. What happens when you don't find out you won next time? I want that confrontation where Luffy is faced with, it's time to grow up, and it's time to grow up hard.
Yeah. Now, that is one of my favorite sides of Zoro, where he is his best friend, but he's also, the first mate, and he's like, I gotta hold you to it,
Oh, my God. The Luffy-Zoro dynamic is just too good.
Unmatched. It's one of my favorites.
Is next week a break week?
Sure is.
Mother hecker. Well, guys, come back next week. We'll have another Wine Piece coming at you. Arlong Park, finally gonna happen. Patrick, any other thoughts on this chapter?
Good epilogue to everything that's come before. Great character beats. Overall, great solid chapter. Looking forward to Elbaph. Let's go.
I don't think you know what an epilogue is.
I don't think you do either.